So, Squid Game Season 2 is finally here. After 3 long years of waiting, hype, and endless speculation, the second season of the Netflix phenomenon dropped with a bang. Or maybe a thud? Honestly, I'm torn. Season 1 was this perfect blend of gripping games, intense character drama, and sharp social commentary. But Season 2? Let's just say it's complicated. I'll share my thoughts and dig into what viewers across the internet have to say about it. Spoiler. It's not all rainbows and red jumpsuits. Let's start with the vibe. I just finished episode 2, and I'm not a fan of the pacing so far. Really slow start, they're taking their time. Hopefully it speeds up in later episodes. I couldn't agree more. The slow start left me itching for the games to begin. It felt like they were over-explaining everything, instead of letting the story flow naturally. First season had to hook with the games before going into characters' drama, but this one can take its time by focusing on drama first. It's more of an action drama than a survival show this time. Which, okay, cool idea in theory, but did it work? Not so much for me. Season 2 tries to stay true to its roots. We've still got the haunting visuals, the eerie rendition of Fly Me to the Moon, and the same critique of capitalism and class divide. But something feels off. The show's gritty intensity has been dialed back, replaced with a glossier, more colorful aesthetic. And the pacing. The pacing was weird. The draw, suspense, and charm of the first season just wasn't in this one, and it was very predictable. If you watch the trailer, you'll have seen most of the season's plot. Now, on to the acting. Every new character feels like a lesser replacement for somebody we lost the first time around. Exactly. And when you don't care about the characters, the stakes feel lower. Not great for a show like this. I had no real attachment to any of the characters because I felt like I barely knew them. The return of Gi Hun and Hwang In-ho had me hopeful. But the new characters? Even worse acting by all newly joined actors. People who try to be a negative role was not acting like villain better. I will use word joker, cartoon. Unnecessary overacting of old women and his child. Old men who was shown negative is also doing junk. Overall, very, very disappointing. A mixed bag, to say the least. Top's performance as Thanos, for instance, sparked quite a bit of controversy. New actors picked for Season 2 were bad additions, especially Thanos. I caught myself drifting away into doing other things while Season 2 was playing because of how boring it was. Ouch. I wouldn't say I'd call it boring, but it's true that the charisma of Season 1's characters is sorely missed. Il-nam's sly wisdom, Sabyok's quiet resilience, gone. And their replacements just don't measure up. Let's talk about the story. I gotta say it was subpar. The events were too obvious, foreshadowing was shallow, plot twists were also obvious. The show was made far too obvious. This is one of my biggest complaints too. Season 1 kept me on the edge of my seat. I never knew what was coming next. Season 2? I could see most twists coming a mile away. And Gi-hun's grand plan? Yikes. 3 years of time and infinite money, and his only plan was a GPS chip. That's it. This was a pretty foolish plan. It's frustrating to watch a character we rooted for so hard make such baffling choices. The surprise and edge of your seat moments seem to be gone. A lot of the scenes seem forced, like they are stretching it for time. Even Lee Jung, who was excellent in the first season, seems one note here. Now the songs are irritating instead of intriguing. I really feel they should have taken a totally diff approach for new season, to give us something fresh instead of just forcing us to know more about things we don't care about. Season 2 had so much potential. Gi-hun's mission to uncover the truth about the games should have been riveting. But instead, it felt flat, predictable even. And what about the games? The heart of Squid Game? The games that the characters had to survive in were formed to be a lot simpler, to accommodate for Western viewers that aren't familiar with Korean games. Not a lot of scenes actually made me surprised, nervous, or excited. That simplicity took away so much of the tension and creativity that made the first season so unique. Disappointing that the most nerve-wracking games played was the Russian roulette at the start of the season. Time to Say Goodbye roaring in the background and the lines of Xiang Gi-hun. Yes, while Time to Say Goodbye playing in the background adds a haunting elegance to the scene, it seems like the show peaked too early. The games are supposed to escalate, becoming more intense and inventive as the season progresses. It wasn't a bad season, but it's not as good as the first one. It seems like the entire season is one big filler episode for the next season. And that's exactly it. It feels like they're setting up for season 3, instead of giving us a strong, standalone story. So, where does that leave us? For me, Squid Game Season 2 had its moments, some solid symbolism, a few tense scenes, and flashes of the brilliance that made Season 1 so iconic. But overall, it's a letdown. The pacing, the predictable plot, and the underwhelming characters all drag it down. But hey, that's just my take. What do you think? Did Season 2 live up to your expectations? Or are you, like me and many others, a bit disappointed? Let's talk about it in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more reviews and reactions. Anyway, if there's one thing Season 2 nailed, it was the return of Jangjae and Bong Hun. Let's shift gears and talk about the two actors who carried the weight of this season. In Squid Game, our main characters start off as people desperate for money. We quickly learned how resourceful they are at staying alive and in the game. But IRL, Jangjae and Bong Hun have different stories. Let's start with player 456. Did you know that he's considered one of the most successful actors in South Korea? Jangjae has many awards to his name, like a Primetime Emmy Award, a Screen Actors Guild Award, and a Critics' Choice Award.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
The star is also an accomplished businessman. He launched a chain of upscale Italian restaurants in Seoul. Lee named them after his film Il Mare. And what about his love life? Since Lee doesn't actually have to fend for survival every day, he gets to enjoy the soft life with his longtime girlfriend. Her name is Lim Se-ryung. Rumor has it she was born with a silver spoon. Lim is the heiress of one of South Korea's biggest corporations, Daesang Group. The beauty has brains, too. She has a bachelor's degree in psychology from New York University. She's also the vice chairwoman of her family's company. What a woman. We first learned about the romance back in 2022. Jangjae made history at the Primetime Emmy Awards for winning Best Actor in a non-English drama series, and he brought the elegant and stunning Se-ryung with him. The Lovebirds posed on the carpet, and man, they look handsome together. That's when fans discovered the couple had been dating for a while. The heiress divorced her first husband in 2009. But even though her first marriage ended prematurely, she decided to give love a second chance. That's when Se-ryung and Jae-jung met. They became an official couple in 2015. The love has blossomed and bloomed ever since. Now what about Bong Hun? He's been making moves too. Did you know before his Squid Game fame, Lee was cementing his name in Hollywood?
I've been meaning to get rid of that gong.
Literally, he was one of the first South Korean actors to imprint their hands and footprints on the forecourt of Grauman's Chinese theater. Some of his Hollywood credits include G.I. Joe: The Rise of Cobra and its sequel. Lee also starred alongside Bruce Willis in Red 2, and he had a part in The Magnificent Seven, too. When it comes to his love life, Bong Hun is a happily married man. He started dating actress Lee Min-jung in 2006, but then they broke up and got back together in 2012. The Lees tied the knot the following year. They welcomed their first child in 2015, a son named Lee Jun-hoo. And most recently, the family has been growing. Lee's reps confirmed in August 2023 that the lovely couple were expecting. The agency mentioned that the parents were thrilled about the news. They had been hoping for a second child. How sweet is that? But life isn't always rosy for Lee. He's had his fair share of drama too. After all, that's what South Korea prides itself on. The first few years of married life were rocky. Sparks went flying after a video surfaced of the actor being affectionate with another woman in front of his wife. There were also some text messages between Bong Hun and a model that were leaked. The actor's wife even moved out when the scandal was in full force. Since then, he's been working on being a better husband and father. But that's not to say Lee has entirely shied away from the scandal. In 2023, rumors spread that the actor used his agency to pull some strings. They say he managed to get South Korean rapper and singer Top on board for the second season of Squid Game. The rumors started because of how close the two are. Eventually, Lee's agency responded to the rumors. All they said was, no comment. It makes you wonder, huh? Do you think Bong Hun pulled strings to get his friend on the popular show? Share with us in the comments. That's it for today. Thanks for taking the time to watch our video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our channel with your loved ones. Be well and be kind.